Hi, do you want to go make some rock art with me? I'm going to show you how to do 3 different outdoor activities with rock art. We're going to make pictures, make words, and find shapes. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. So stay with me and I'll show you how to do rock art. The only thing you really need when you go rock hunting is a pocket. But even better yet would be something to hold the rocks. And so I love to take my used Ziploc baggies or any kind of old container that you were going to throw away. They're perfect for collecting rocks. So whenever you go outside, whenever you go outside, you might always have a Ziploc in your pocket like I do, because you're bound to find the rock that you want to keep. And it's nice to keep your pockets clean and you can put them in the bags. Okay, so just ask Mom or anybody for some containers to hold your rocks. Okay, now follow me and I'll show you kind of what I look for. Anywhere I go, there's usually rocks somewhere, either in the street or on piles or even at the neighbor's house, which you must always ask the neighbors if you're going to look at their rocks. You might like one and they might let you take one home. But only ask the neighbors if you have an adult with you, because they might be a scary neighbor. We'll be cutting all that out. Okay, so let's just look around my yard and see what possibilities we have. You might notice the big giant rock wall. Those are way too big, so I don't use those, but sometimes rocks will break off and I can use those. But we are so lucky because we have a whole bunch of dirt, and in the dirt there's often rocks. So this is a great place to look. But at the side of our house, we've got just regular pebbles. So this is just kind of pebbly stuff, and this is fantastic. I mean, look at this. I just looked right now, and here's an odd-shaped rock. The odder the shapes are, the better they are, because you wouldn't believe what they could turn into. But you don't know until you collect a whole bunch, spill them out on the table, push them around, and then you start seeing things. So we've got kind of gravelly rocks, and then we turn around, and we've kind of got just really rough rocks in the backyard. But inside all that dirt, there's really good rocks to work with. Then we have ducks, which is the best distraction of all. These ducks just flew in. I don't get it, but they're wild, and so we started feeding them, and they like water and food, so they come over. Do you get it? So you just need to find some rocks, and then we look for specific shapes. Look for long, tall ones, round ones, and triangles. If you can find those shapes, you can make anything. Making words with rocks is super easy and super fun. You can just, if it's your name, so let's say your name is Beth, you can just take pebble, 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 and make B out of all the pebbles. Or if you want to get really tricky, you can try to make the letters out of the actual rock shapes. And that's what I'm going to show you right here. So I carefully collected these rocks over a long time. So these are the very best rocks I could find. And you may not have access to these kinds of rocks. So you might have to be creative and do something different. But here are the rocks I have. So let's make the word love. So look at this cool rock, all bent up like that. That looks like an L to me. But if we didn't have that for an L, we could have just taken a long rock and another long rock, and there's an L. So you don't have to do it that way. And a circle for the O, and let's make a V. That's not very good. There's a V, L-O-V, and an E. And a few little sticks out here. Okay, so there's a word love. Do you think you could make your name in rocks? You may not have something like that, and you might just have little baby rocks. And you just have little ones, you could just stack them up until you had the length you wanted. And then you could find a little O if you wanted, and you could just start stacking them until you can make the letters that you want. L-O-V, and we could do some more. So you can use a whole bunch of rocks to make a letter. Or if you have special rocks, you can just do them like that. What if we want to say, I love mom? Wouldn't that be sweet if you made I love mom in rocks for her and put that on the doorstep? And when she walked up to the doorstep and she saw that, it'd be like a present. Or you could say, welcome home. Or you could go to somebody's doorstep and say, I miss you. Or just write their name. So it's really fun to write messages with rocks. Let's do, I love mom. So we did love, and I always like to put a little heart if I've got a heart rock. And let's make mom. This could be trickier, huh? How about that for an M? And maybe we could do, does that look like an M? M, and here's for O for mom, O, and then another M. Maybe we need to shift some rocks around here, but we'll just do it really quick so you get the idea. Okay, that M needs some help, huh? So you could just keep trading rocks until you get what you want. And then this could be mom here. It's another bent rock, and that kind of looks like a body bent over. And we could get a little circle for a head. And there's mom. And we could even put some arms out here, like, woohoo, because mom's happy. So you can make pictures and words with your rocks. Try it out. My favorite thing to do with rocks is to make pictures. That's why my website is Rocks Tell Stories, because you can tell stories with your rock art and you can't make any mistakes. So I just want to show you one picture. It's a more complicated picture because sometimes it's hard to find the right rocks for what you want. But if you have a picture in mind and you want to create it with rocks, you should really give it a try. So I've collected lots of rocks, which makes it a lot easier when you have a lot to choose from. And I found these really fantastic long rocks, which are very hard to find, down at the river. And I decided that this one looks like a boat, or a canoe. So I want to do a couple that are in a canoe. So we'll put that down as the boat. We could try these out too, but just to be quick about it, look at this cute one. I told you when you find bent rocks, you can do all kinds of things. This is a little girl sitting in the boat. And here's the little boy sitting in the boat. Isn't that a great rock? You would never guess what these rocks are until you sit down and start playing with them. And then we'll give them little heads, each of them. And they are rowing a boat, so we want to give them oars. So I snapped off these little twigs, and those would be the boat oar. And maybe it needs a little paddle down there and an arm. So I just use a long skinny rock for an arm. Those stick rocks are useful. And then I can put this down. When you take a picture of it straight down, you'll organize it to be just perfect. And there you are, they're paddling on their little canoe. You can give her a paddle too. You give her an oar if you wanted. Or we could try and see if maybe one of these boats is better. And you can switch out rocks to see which boat you like best. So it's really easy to make these once you decide what picture. But let me give you the best clue of all for making picture rock art. If you decide you want to do something like maybe a beautiful tree, then go onto Google and search for tree and click on images, and it'll show you all kinds of trees. And that's very helpful because when you look at a picture, it's not three-dimensional, it looks more flat. But even better, if you type in silhouette, that's when you see just a pure black of the image. So you're just seeing the outer shape of it. If you type your search term like tree silhouette, then you'll just see silhouettes, just black trees, and your brain will go, oh, I need a shape like that. And you don't have to think so hard about the art of it. That's a really great tip. If you want to do a lizard, for example, you just do lizard silhouette in Google and look at their images and you'll see one, and then you'll know exactly what rocks that you want to place down to look like a lizard. So try making pictures, and once you start making those, see if you can't tell a story. Maybe a story about something that you did that was really fun, that you loved, or a story about how you're feeling about something, and then take a picture of it and share it with your friends. So I went out and collected a whole bunch of rocks, and these are from all over the place, but I wanted to show you which kinds to look for. My rocks are really big. It's hard to find big rocks unless you go to like a stream or a river or the ocean. Probably the rocks around your neighborhood are a little bit smaller, but these shapes will help you know what to get. So the most important shape to get, well, there's really three most important ones. If you get tall, skinny rocks, These are so great because they make good bodies. Like if this is just, you know, from the neck down, that's a good body. Or it could be an arm or a leg. So tall, skinny rocks are good. Whenever you see them when you're walking around the neighborhood, if you find a tall, skinny one, stick it in your pocket and then take it home because it's really good. And then the next shape to get is circles. And you'll find lots of circles. Like that's a circle rock. Anything that's a circle makes a pretty good head. So if you're making a person and you need a head, then you can just take your tall, skinny one and you can put a circle on it and you've got a person. Pretty easy, right? So circles are really important. If you're making bicycles, they make good bicycle tires. They're just, actually, some people make rock art just with circles only. So they just collect circles. And you never want a perfect rock. You like them to be just a little not perfect because that's how real things are in life. Nothing's perfect. So it looks better when it's not perfect. The other shape you want to get is called, I call it a jelly bean shape. It's a kind of a curve shape. So any rock that has a curve in it, there's all kinds of uses for that. I call them jelly bean rocks. Here's one that's really weird that has a big curve in it. So if you find rocks with a curve, especially if they're little rocks, you want to keep those. And you'll see why later when we go through different rock art. So here's a, what's that one? Tall, skinny rock. What's that one? Jelly bean, curved rock. And then we have circle rocks, okay? All right, and then here are some of the rocks I already collected. These are pretty cool because these are the very best ones I could find anywhere. And we're gonna make some rock art out of those. Okay, one of the 3 activities is kind of a treasure hunt. It's choosing a shape and looking for that outside anywhere you go. It sounds kind of easy, and it can be, and especially if you do it with a friend, you can make a contest out of it. So choose a shape you want and choose an easy shape, like a circle. So you might say, you're gonna go collect as many circle rocks as you can. And then you both each have your own bucket or Ziploc bag and you go find as many as you can. And when you come back, then you'll count them and see who got the most shapes. You could choose a little bit harder, like the stick rocks. This is a long, skinny rock. Can you see that okay? The long, skinny rocks are really useful. So even though this is fun just to go treasure hunt and find the right shape, you'll end up using these later when you're making pictures with the rocks. So you might choose to find long, skinny rocks. They can be really tiny. They just have to be skinny. Or they can be really big like this one, but skinny. Or you might choose to go for triangles. Here's a triangle. It's hard to find triangles because so you kind of have to just go with it. Sometimes the 3 points aren't so obvious. Like that's a triangle. Does that look like a triangle? That's kind of a triangle. There's a point, 2 points on top and 1 on the bottom. So go find all the triangles you can. And once you get good at triangles, you'll find out that some of your triangles are actually heart-shaped rocks. And those are my favorite ones to get because I think they're love notes from God. So I collect all the heart-shaped rocks I can get. And here's a really good one. That's pretty good, huh? So if you find triangles, sometimes if you pick the triangle up and you look at it carefully, you actually have a heart. So you might go out and see how many hearts you can find. I have friends that have never found a heart rock, but I think once you start looking, you'll start seeing them. I find at least one every time I go out. So they're there. So choose a shape that you want to find and go get as many of those as you can. That's one of the fun and easy outdoor activities you could do with rock art. Okay, we are going rock hunting in the backyard. And I love looking for heart-shaped rocks, so that's what we're gonna look for. And the tip on that is to look for triangles. If you find a triangle, sometimes it's a heart. So that's kind of fun. So let's look together and see what we find. I'm lucky that our house backyard is full of rocks. So I can go back here rock hunt like crazy. Let's see what we find today. Sometimes you just have to be really patient and just keep your eyes open. We're looking for triangles. And I bet you're seeing something that I should stop and look at. Let's see. Oh, here's a whole pile of stuff. Let's look through here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a triangle. And there's the heart. Okay, there's a good one. We'll keep that one. How about this guy? Kind of a triangle, but no. Let's see. Ooh, what's this? Hey, that looks like a heart. There you go. Okay, that's a keeper. We got two. Not this thing. Ew, that's cool. There's a triangle. Oh, that's kind of a heart. Might be a nice wing for an angel. Okay, that's good. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, that's another cool looking one. It could be a heart. We're just looking for triangles today. So, ooh, here's a long stick. Whenever you find long skinny rocks, keep those because those make good arms and legs. Ooh, look at this one. I like that. That's a good body right there. Could be a person, you put a little head on them. That's a good long one. And you can see I've got this whole ramp to look at. But we'll just find a few. We're coming up to the alligator. Don't be scared. I think that's funny. What are these? What's that? Different. No, that's kind of cool. Could do something with that for sure. Ooh, look at this one. That looks like a heart to me. What do you think? Ooh, even better on that side. Keep that one. Ooh, that's a neat one. Anything that has a curve in it's really cool. Can use those. We'll keep it. I need a container for my. It's good to use Ziploc bags or old food containers. Oh, good containers. Whenever mom has an empty container, you should keep it. So perfect for finding stuff. Ooh. Look at that. That's a nice hard rock right there. I love that one. Anything else in here? Ooh, that's almost a star. That's cool. And there is one handsome man fixing the sprinkler system. Any luck?
I'm finding lots of rocks.
Well, you found a really neat heart rock over here. We'll show him. Look at that one. He found that one. Just dug that one out. Let's put it in our box. Good job, Mark. Let's go over here so we get out of his way. But look at all those rocks we could be looking for shapes in. Ooh, fun. But over here, this is just a gravel pile. Sometimes you see a lot of these in people's yards. We just have this in our side yard. Let's see what we can find in the shade so we're not so hot. Let's see. What do you see? There's a triangle. It's kind of a heart. I like it. Ooh, now we got our circles for our heads. We need some of those for heads. It's kind of a heart shape, sort of. That'd be a good head. Ooh, here's a good head. I'll take it. What else do we have? I like that brown color. Look at this one. Oh, that's cute. That looks like a heart to me. Kinda. We'll keep it. What else do you see in here? I bet you're seeing something you wish you could pick up. Ooh, there's a cute one. Look at that. That's cool. That's kind of a heart shape. Oh, look at this one though. That's nice and long. I like those arms and legs. And I like these with a little band on them. Those are fun. Like, looks like a headband on a face. Oh, there's so many in here that could use. That's a cute little head, isn't it? I love that for a head.
Right there.
Oh, wow. That's a great one. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. You're good at this.
Now I'm seeing them everywhere.
I know you kind of do after a while. If you just look for triangles, and sometimes they're hearts. That's really great, Mark. How fun. Ooh, that's a cool one too, like an arm or a leg.
There's a headband.
Headband. We were just talking about that. Thank you. That's really neat. Ooh, I love that one. Because it's like part of his neck here a little bit. And he's looking off profile view. That's excellent. Thanks, Mark. How many did we find? He asked. Lots. Well, we got like at least 6 heart rocks in there. 8. Okay, see that big giant rock wall? I want to see if we can find any heart rocks in that. Okay, ducks, don't be scared of us. You're very cute though. Let's everybody see you. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, time to get a drink. Good idea. In here, we have lots of little mice that live in those little crevices. And they're eating my plants, darn it. We need to have a relocation program for those guys. Okay, they got a bunch of broken rocks over here. Broken rocks. Often in the broken rocks, you can find hearts. So let's look in here. Oh, look at that. I did find this the other day and saved it for you. This is a beauty. Looks like it was handmade. Can you believe that? That's a big heart rock. Whoa, Nilly. Okay, that's a treasure. Let's keep that one. Okay, holy cow. That fills up our whole bucket. And I found another one back here. It's kind of crazy. See if you can find it. Can you find it? Do you see it in there? Yep, good job. Look at this guy. Now that's a heart rock if I've ever seen one. It's huge. Okay, that's cool. Let's put him in our bucket. Okay, check out the finds for today. Whoa, can always use a long stick rock. But look at all these hearts. But look at some of these I also found. Whoa, that is cool. And this one. Oh, it's huge. Those are good ones. And even a square. Those are unusual to find. That's cute. Ooh, that looks like an angel wing. What if we said there's the profile of an angel and here's his head? Angel! You are not going to believe what just happened. These 3 wild mallards just flew into our yard. We've been trying to attract them by putting water out, and we have birdseed out, but it was super fun. I wish I had the camera on when they flew in so you could see them, but they're here, so I'll show you. Let me slowly turn around so I don't scare them. Do you see them? Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? We gotta go find some food for them. That is so dang cute. So cute. Hey guys, you want some treats? Who wants treats? Okay, they're not very domesticated yet. Here you go. Okay, that was a fail. Treats, anybody? Huh. Well, I guess it's good they like the grass better than my treats.